Tuscany chicken. Get some.
Alright, first thing we're going to do is prep our chicken. We're going to chop this up, we're going to add our spices, we're going to get it into the crock pot along with the chicken stock. We're going to get it simmering and then we'll start preparing everything else. So let's get to chopping. I also did a video on Zuli Kitchen where they offer kitchen products at amazing prices. I have a link, I'll put it in the description below, where you can pick up your own. I got a knife sharpener and this thing works amazing. I haven't used it yet until today, but in that video I sharpened it and this obviously turned out great. Cutting through this like butter. I'm also cutting this into bite-sized pieces. That way it cooks faster and it's easier to eat. Alright, so I cut up about 4 of these chicken thighs. I think that's going to be plenty, which gives me about 1.5 pounds of chicken for what we're going to cook today. Now I'm going to put the rest of these in the freezer, clean up this cutting board, and we're going to chop up the tomatoes. Alright, before chopping up the tomatoes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add all the seasonings to this so it can marinate for a little while before we add the tomatoes and then throw it in the crock pot. First thing we're going to do is add 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. We got 2 teaspoons black pepper and 2 teaspoons of salt. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, you can use powdered garlic, it's up to you. I like the fresh stuff because you also get some of that garlic juice in there, which tastes amazing as well. Now we're going to give this a little stir, set it aside, and chop up the tomatoes. First thing we want to do though is we want to go and we want to drain out all of the oils out of these. If you're in a pinch and you don't have sun-dried tomatoes, you can also use diced tomatoes. I like the sun-dried tomatoes because it has oils in it already. It already has Italian seasonings, so the tomatoes are marinating inside of it. So it's going to have a lot more flavor. It's going to taste so much better. But before we chop these up and add them to the chicken, we want to drain out all the oil. All right, now that all the oil is drained out, we're going to drop it on the cutting board. We're going to chop it up. Now there will be some oil residue, which is fine. We're okay with that. It's just going to give it more flavor. And to be honest with you, this brand that I bought of sun-dried tomatoes is already actually chopped up pretty well. We're just going to chop it up a little bit more. Now we'll just add it to the chicken. All right, crock pot liner is ready to go. We're going to turn this on to high and it'll be ready in 4 hours. All right, we got the tomatoes in. We turned the crock pot on high. It takes about 4 hours to cook. Now we're going to add the chicken broth. We have roughly 2 cups of chicken broth. We're just going to use 1 can. We're going to look inside of it once we put it all together and see if we need to add a little bit more. But 1 can of chicken broth should do it, just for the fact that we're going to be adding heavy cream and other ingredients to this here soon. Okay, looking inside here, I think it's going to be perfect. We got the chicken broth that just covers the top of the chicken and all the ingredients. We're going to let this cook. After 4 hours, we're going to add the heavy cream, the Parmesan cheese, and then we're going to add the noodles into it as well. I also like to cook the noodles separate to get them done faster, but if this is one of those recipes that you're throwing together before you head to work, throw everything in, turn it on low, it'll be done in about 6 to 8 hours. So in the crock pot, everything's cooked. We got the seasoning, we got the chicken, we got the tomatoes, the sun-dried tomatoes. All right, so we're going to add 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream. Go ahead and pour that right on in. All right, so the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. I have an Italian 6 blended cheese. You can add whichever one you want. It's totally up to you on what kind of cheese you want. And I'm going with 1 cup because we like stuff extra cheesy. Inside of the bag there are 2 cups of cheese, so I'm just going to pour about half the bag in. Once we grab a spoon, we'll mix it all together. Give it a quick stir. We're going to throw the cover back on, let that cook. We're going to grab our spinach and we're going to chop it up. Alright, so I got about 1.5 cups of packed spinach. We're just going to chop it up and then we're going to add it into the crock pot. Now that the spinach is in there, we're going to give it a quick stir. And we're going to let this set and cook. And we will wait till the noodles are all done. We'll add the noodles and we'll be eating dinner. Okay, so now it's all finished. We have everything in the crock pot. It's been warming. I'm ready to dig into this. It smells delicious. It looks delicious. Let's get it. But first, before I take a bite, I want to thank God for this food. Pray that it nourishes my body, gives me strength. And I want to thank God for all you amazing viewers that come and watch these videos. Your support means a great deal to me. And I pray that God blesses you guys abundantly in anything that you choose to do. Amen. All right, let's take a bite. The Italian spices definitely jump out. You can taste the sun-dried tomatoes, the chicken, very cheesy. Like I said, I added a little bit of extra cheese because my family loves cheese. Thanks for stopping by. Another quick and easy recipe done in a crock pot. 4 hours on high or 6 to 8 hours on low, and you'll be good to go. Till next time, Dan the Flavor Guy. See you.